birds hear the eagles call. High, hey, and get high.
So Marie found the pull through here so that my cap doesn't have a stupid loop. That was pretty awesome. Yeah. All right. It's been pretty warm in the car, so we'll see how the temperature goes here. Great. Forgot my selfie stick. Alright. We're out here at Young Conservation Area. And acquiring satellites. Alright. There we go. Tracking controls and start. Go back to the map. Alright. Let's go. Alright. Starting the Young Conservation Area. And there's hunters, so oh well. Starting off on my normal exit route, but also left my selfie stick at home. Don't know why, just I don't know. So I did bring a lot of well, not a whole lot, but I brought a jacket, which don't think I'm gonna need. You know, you start cold. Oh, wow. That's some pretty nice colors up there. So I got my videoing shades. I'm gonna see if I can learn to use them. There's not a whole lot of visual feedback, but I think I got the gist of starting videos. It at least gives you some feedback. So hopefully we can do this. All right, we are getting started. So we got this route here. You can see the cars behind me. That's near the road. We're going that way is the trail. And that way is normally how I get here. But on the way back, we'll be going that way. Yeah. Already passed a couple of bow hunters. I don't know if they're hiking the trails looking for deer, but I don't know. Doesn't seem like a very bright thing to do. You got to go through not trails to actually find deer, usually. If you're hunting, I don't think hiking a trail with your bow is going to produce much. Anyway, yeah, you get out in the woods, maybe find a deer trail, sit back against a tree or up in a tree, and then, you know, wait for a deer to come by. Stalking takes a lot more effort. But usually just sitting still and quiet along a trail is where you're going to get one. Anyway, we're just hiking. we will be coming back through there, even with all the down trees. But going left first. Taking the left way is usually the best way. This is the first uphill on this route. Looks a good bit different than last time I was here. Because last time I was here, it was all covered up in weeds. Looks like it's been a little bit dry, but it did clear off the weed cover. So that's pretty cool. Look at how clear that is now. Looks like someone tried to get down there a little bit too close. But also, man, look at the size of that. Look at the size of that mussel. Huh. That's impressive. Here's a good one for you. It's a bit chilly, right? And at the same time, I'm starting to feel a little prickling of sweat, maybe. So yeah, shouldn't be sweating when you're chilly. But this little rock walk here is pretty cool. Staircase, all that good stuff. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Gotta watch for the smaller rocks because you could turn your ankle on those. Taconic Trail, that way. Yeah, not a fan. I mean, the LaBarque trail is not the most scenic trail in the world as far as giant sweeping vistas or anything, but it does have some really nice creek views. And awesome trees. So yeah, prefer this trail. Just ignore the loop, Taconic loop, because I don't know. Hike it once or twice, just to know, and yeah, then just skip it. Yeah, with all the foliage off the trees and the undergrowth being a little died back, it's you're able to see a whole lot more of the area that you're hiking through, which is pretty cool. And it's pretty dry, so no more, you're not having to worry about getting across deep water this trip. Yeah, my first impressions on this trail were back when had just been a good amount of rain, so all this creek was flowing, and it's kind of weird seeing it now where there's like no water. But I can look back over there and see that ridge of rock shelf over there, and there's a actual waterfall over there when there's water flowing. And that's pretty cool. Of course, with it not flowing, I can't really be sure where it is exactly. I think it's just right over there, but not 100% sure. It's over that direction somewhere. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Coming out here in the fall. Hoping I get a good view when we get up to the top of the hill. See what that looks like. But not expecting a whole lot because, you know, not a whole lot of view when there's leaves on the trees. Just hoping they don't get the rain. Hope we outrun the rain. Hope we're in the car before it rains. Right back there was where I was mentioning the waterfall. But I'm pretty sure the waterfall's right here. That gorge coming down there. I think that's the waterfall. I said it was back there, but it's not. Okay. I mean, it wasn't, 20 yards, but still. Like to be accurate. Yeah, that's the waterfall. And here we are at the split. So, LaBarque Trail goes that way, and LaBarque Trail goes that way. We're going to go with the left, because that's always the smart move. Pretty much every trail I've done, the smart move is usually to go left. Just like, politics. Wow. Always better. I'm really liking the view out here. It is nice. So this is pretty much a uphill, but when foliage is present, I miss pretty awesome features like that rock, or that rock shelf, or whatever you want to call it, over there. It's pretty cool. There's been a couple more of those that I have seen. Pretty much for the first time, because there's not trees and greenery in the way. So yeah, even though it's a bit chilly, I think I might regret putting on my 32 degrees base layer. Well, for the pants. Might regret that. And I do have 2 layers for the shirt. I got compression shirt underneath the sun hoodie. And I'm warm. I am very warm. My hands and extremities are kind of chilly, but my core is very, very warm. And the views are pretty cool. Or at least I think so. Epic. Pretty epic. So that over there is pretty epic. You see the yellows of the leaves littering the ground through there. You can see how the light's playing off the leaves and all that stuff. That is pretty awesome. I can see light playing on the leaves that are still on the trees, and then that light patch playing on the ground over there. Man, this trail has something to show you. Awesome sights. It's even getting better. Every season of the year, I think. Rainy season, the waterfalls and stuff are totally awesome. And the rock shells out here. I mean, giant slabs of rock. I would call them plates. They are pretty awesome. There's some, like a little ways back there, there was one that was about 8 or 9 feet in length, but all you saw was this little thin edge poking out, a little bit of space under it, and there's no telling how far back underground it went. It was amazing. And then you got things like that. So you got this plate here, probably going all the way up this ravine. It's probably why the ravine is here, because of that edge of that rock there. Just directs it. And that's just pretty awesome. Pretty awesome stuff. All right. We are starting one of the nice big elevation gains. But look at that. Man, that is awesome. I'll take this opportunity to say once again, we need to stop nailing stuff to trees. Because, yeah, it was a great trail marker, and now it is dead, and it's going to fall down. There's got to be better ways to mark a trail than nailing crap to trees. Like maybe spray painting a stencil onto the tree. You may have to go back and redo it, but you're not going to have to find new trees every time. Because you killed the other tree by nailing stuff to it. It's just crazy. Yeah, now we're getting some elevation. We're going to wind up top of this hill here. Woo-hoo. And as much leaves that have fallen, you kind of can't see the trail. but then again, you kind of can't. I guess it's like more instinct right now than anything else, but I guess you can tell where people have walked and where people haven't. Ooh, and got some nice wind along with it too. That just cuts right through the sun hoodie. Of course, I'm still sweating, so. Look at the sunlight on that moss-covered tree, or log, fallen log. So hopefully, when we get up to that ridge up there, there's going to be some pretty awesome scenery, because there's no leaves on the tree to block it. But we'll see. So here we are at the pretty much at the top of the trail, the hill I was pointing out. The trail doesn't go up to the highest point, but we're going to do that. So this is going to be about 700 feet of elevation. Pretty much right here. Right here is the highest point, or second highest point of the trail. So on over that way, we're going to get up to 800 feet in elevation. That's going to be about the height of this trail. Yeah, so the trail's over there. That's the highest point on the trail at that tree. It's kind of leaning up over there. But this is the highest point on this hill, which is pretty sweet, and pretty exposed to the wind. So back to the trail. Yeek. All right, yeah, getting a little windy out here with the elevation gain. Woo! Doing the rest step going up this hill, or trying to. I don't think I've got it down yet, but I'm still practicing. Yeah, the wind's picking up, or at least gusts are getting stronger. That last gust was pretty dang strong. Well, now that's something I haven't seen before. That's a house. Huh. So, Marie's little attachment here saved me from losing this yet again. I was walking away from where I was sitting, and this flew up into my face from a breeze, and I was like, oh yeah. I walked off without getting my sit pad, and Marie's idea freaking saved the day. Yay! Oh, thank you, Marie. That was awesome, because I would have left another sit pad. Oh well. Okay. Yeah, I was losing the trail because of this log, but I remember like, I think the first time I came through here hiking, I think I hung my hammock up somewhere along in here, and back then it was a high breeze and pretty chilly. Not as chilly as it is right now, but It was still cold back then. All right, let's see how smart I am. It's getting a little chilly, mainly because of the, dang it. I'm not too smart because I forgot to loosen my straps before I took my pack off. So I'll just do it now before I forget again. All right. Let's see what we got in here. Bug spray, net, poop kit. Okay, that's not what I'm looking for. I think that just has the net head in it. What am I looking for? Knee brace, emergency snack, power cords, emergency money, another net hat, water filter, another water bottle, spare water bottle. Alright, not what I wanted, which was gloves, but I got a jacket, so that's gonna work. That's a little zip up. A little bit of a windbreaker. Okay. Now I wonder where my gloves are. Probably in the car. Alright. Put this stuff back on and hit the trail. So, I was just curious. Yep, it's pretty chilly. Right at 40. Alright, we are at the 800 feet mark. And yeah, which is probably why it was getting a little chilly. But this nice little jacket here is really cutting the wind. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's a good wind block. A little bit of insulation. Perfect amount of insulation, actually. Because I'm warm. The wind is not trying to steal my heat anymore. So it's all pretty good. Pretty good. The views out here are I can see through the trees, some pretty awesome views, but I don't think they'll show up on video because you just, I don't know what it is. Videos, you can't really look through the trees like you can in person. So real difficult to get as much of the views that you have out here. on video. So, which is why you say it's better in person. Yep, better in person. So we are pretty much right near the top of the ridge, and over there is just tempting. So, doing a little off trail to get up here and see what I can see at the top of the trail. Apparently this is the end of the public use area. Yeah, it would be a great view if it weren't for all the trees. But I prefer having the trees here, so it's all good. Need a fire tower up here or something. Viewing platform to get above the trees. That would be epic. How you would get the materials out here to build it, I don't know. But yeah, we're getting to the top of the ridge up here. All right. The wind did get pretty dang chilly, but got my coat on and got my hands in my pocket. Well, one hand in my pocket. The other one is holding a walking stick. Anyway, it is mostly downhill from here. We've already got the 800 feet elevation that we're gonna get. So it's mostly downhill till we get back to the where the loop begins. And then we've got a few uphills, small uphills, on the way back to the parking lot. But yeah, you can look over through the trees there, see those big hills surrounding us. All the over there, the colors, that is awesome. And watch the roots and rocks and everything else in the path. There's one moment a while back on the trail where I stepped where there should have been solid rock, but it was so covered in leaves, I missed the rock, sunk into the leaves. That was a little bit startling. But for the most part, it's been pretty awesome out here. A little bit difficult to see the trail because of some of the fallen stuff lining it. But again, for the most part, stayed on the trail without issue. So yeah, as long as you bring your gloves with you, it'll be a pretty awesome hike. Or be willing to just walk with your hands in your pockets. Which, not always advisable on trails like this, because just in case you catch a root and fall, you don't want your hands in your pockets. so you can flail about and maybe catch yourself before you do damage. Then again, that's what the walking stick's for, huh? And look at that. That is just an awesome sight. For me, anyway. Very beautiful. Sunlight playing on the trees and the forest floor. Very, very cool. That could well be the valley we saw from over there, and we're looking over this way. Could be. I don't know. But that would be cool. Yeah, this is pretty much a straight line from here all the way to the junction of the trail. I'm not saying it's level, but it's pretty much a straight line from here. It is getting a little bit more difficult to find the trail because of all the leaves. But it's fairly intuitive. Yeah. Oh, and then there's signs like that that say the trail's like that way. See, just got to pay attention. I was thinking it was this way, but with all the leaves, it's kind of difficult to tell. Right? So I don't think there's a whole lot of more elevation gain or loss even here. So yeah, this is really the nice relaxing part of the trail after the climb up to the ridge top. So gonna enjoy this cool down period. Yeah, so with all the trees cover, I didn't realize how close we were to the power line. So the Taconic Trail actually kind of well, I don't know if that's a power line or a gas line, but the Taconic Trail cuts across that a couple of times, but I didn't realize that we kind of parallel it here for a little bit on the LaBarque. And oh, this has been a lovely, whoops, hold on. Okay. This has been a lovely hike. Way up when you got to the 800 feet elevation, 800 feet, the wind was brutal. I mean, stripping all the warmth from the hands. But it's a little bit better now. And as much as the map shows this as a pretty much straight line, yeah, it winds a little bit back and forth, but effectively a straight line. Whew. Awesome. The scenery has been pretty cool. So the whole way around. Well, seems the video shades just died on me. I don't know. I don't know how much of a charge I had on them. But we'll see if we got some good video with them. If not, this will be a very funny looking video when I put it all together. Because yeah, did a lot of things with the video shades that would tie in well, and without them, I don't know if it'll make as much sense. Oh well. So there's a place coming up that I'd really like. I'm going to really look forward to seeing. I thought this was a pool that's pretty much always going to have water in it, but I don't know. It might be dry, which would be kind of weird. So I'm kind of anxious to see it. It's not much further now, I don't think. That's cool. The red. Well, here I am. And I did not recognize it because there is no freaking water. Yep, I thought this place would have at least some water in it, but it doesn't. Because I'm usually having to walk way down here and get around the water, but it is all gone. Surprising. Wow. Gonna try and pull up another video from the past and show that area. But yeah, that's a little surprising. Oh well. Yeah, so this only has water certain times of the year. All of that's pretty awesome looking. Wow. So we are at 4 1/4 miles and almost back to the end of the loop, or the beginning of the loop, depends on what you're, how you want to say it. So yeah, only about 2 miles to go. All right, we are back at the junction, that trail, and there we go. So this is normally a creek hop, getting across the creek, but like everything else here today, bone dry. All right, and we're heading back toward the parking lot. So we've already hiked all this trail this morning. It is now 12:40. So it's afternoon now. That rock shelf is still pretty awesome. But yeah, heading back toward the parking lot. And I think, let's see. Yep, 4.54 miles. 4.54 miles. So, whoops. If this is a 6 mile, or I think it's a 6 mile loop. If you do the Taconic Trail, it's 6.5 miles. We'll see the numbers at the end here. But we have 1.5 miles to go, maybe 2 miles, depending on what that final number winds up being. So, all right. Should be pretty easy going from here. I really do like the rocks here. I mean, they have a lot of character. This whole little section here has pretty cool rocks. And you're next to the creek down there. So we went left on the way here, on the way in. So we came from that direction. So we're going to stay left on the way back and do a little section of a circle that we didn't do on the way in. And we didn't get that view of the creek. Yep, that was a drop down. Oh well. Never claimed to be graceful. But check all that out. Ain't that cool? So this comes out, rejoins the trail right near the bridge. And we're going to cross the bridge and keep left again. Circle back to the parking lot. Woo! Light. All right. Getting close to the parking lot because you can see here's the road up there. So we're gonna do the smart thing and take the left leaning fork or split, whatever. It's gonna be interesting to play this back on the Garmin. So this kind of goes back near the creek and kind of parallels it for a while, then comes up on the other side of the pond, or little pond there by the parking lot. Yeah. So almost there. All right, so here we are. One of the few times I'm not going to continue left. I'm going to turn right because that's the trail. That's the way back to the parking lot. But yeah. I know you shouldn't critique people on the trail, but dude just walked past me, bundled up like he was on the Alpine snow peaks. I'm like, dude, you're gonna suffer on down the trail. You always want to start cold because your body's gonna work up a good bit of heat when you're hiking. And you don't want to have to stop and take things off because you're sweating. Because that's going to exacerbate the cold. Because the sweat's going to evaporate and going to make you much, much colder. And you're going to try and put that thing back on. But the smart thing to do is start a little chilly. You know, start a little bit more cold than is comfortable. And if you get on down the trail a good ways and you're still cold, or you get colder, pull your layers out and put them on. That way, you're not going to get too cold and you're not going to get soaking wet and like get yourself in danger. But we are back at the pretty much at the trailhead. Got the little pond down there for fishing, and the cars are right up here. So y'all get out there and y'all have fun hiking. Ah, there it is.